Hello and welcome to Realm's Edge Gaming. In this episode, I thought we could take a look at the article that dropped today on the Warhammer community website, and it was all about new life being brought to the mortal realms through Order, and about joining a Dawnbringer Crusade today. So it says about how that in the kind of previous things that we've been looking at throughout the week, we've been exploring the kind of new layout of the mortal realms and how it's looking at the moment. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these Dawnbringer Crusades. And it's basically the next step in Sigmar's plan to, I guess, to kind of take back all the ground that they've lost and to start to kind of repopulate the mortal realms itself after the events of Broken Realms. So it says that setting out from the established cities of Sigmar, Dawnbringer Crusades are military expeditions of would-be pioneers. They seek to settle in new lands across the mortal realms, and in doing so actually grow the domain of Order. And while some number only 100 individuals, many crusades are thousands strong and represent a vast mobilisation of Sigmar's power. So he's really making a big play to recapture some of the lost areas that have been taken over. Because at the moment, as the article kind of goes on to say, it is very, very dangerous outside of the city walls with geists, chaos, and many other horrible things like the orcs. That are kind of becoming much more populous and many in number compared to before the events of the Broken Realms. So it says here, with the procession led by columns of Stormcast, Fireslayers and Daughters of Cain, the bold adventurers called Dawnbringers, or often simply Dawners, plunge into hostile lands. And their goal is to find a new settlement at a site of a particular importance, such as a realm gate, ancient shrine, or area of geomantic power. And even though there is lots of danger involved, some of them actually succeed. So for them, it is worth the risk involved. And it's something that the design team spoke about, I think, when they unboxed the Dominion box set with the Cruel Boys and the Stormcast. It was about how, the kind of people they send out is not always guaranteed that they will return, but they do their best, and if they can kind of get some of the new established cities, it's been worth it in their opinion. It says here that speaking of danger, the Dawners are rarely left to expand Sigmar's realm in peace, and this is what we spoke about before, how the Crusades are set upon by all manner of demons, beasts and geists, and how few hosts never make it to their target destination, while others are barely able to lay down their prefabricated buildings before a marauding band of orcs or chaos warriors tear through the defences. The buildings themselves are a marvel of Sigmarite engineering, each constructed long before the Crusade has set out and loaded onto giant metaliths. So basically what these are giant floating islands, and they're actually towed above the Dawnbringers as they march and carry many of the resources needed for them to quickly establish the settlements on arrival. And that really reminded me of the Broken Realms Techlist book, where the Luminath, they kind of invade Ossia, Catacross's area, and they're kind of like almost surfing on these giant kind of blocks of stone to get there. And it kind of reminded me of that, and I just think that this artwork that they've provided is absolutely amazing, and we can see the carriage on in the sky. We've got these war shrines as well on the wheels, and I'm really hopeful that this is kind of like a portent of things to come. We can see these heavy thick-set chains and this kind of flotilla that's kind of floating above them with all the settlements that they're bringing. And you know what, if that was made into a terrain piece, that would be absolutely amazing, and it would be so cool. You can see here how many people are having to pull on those chains to actually, take them to the destination where they're trying to get to. But you know what, maybe, we've got the Doralia and Galen Van Denst. There's lots to talk about this Order of Azir. You know what, I did a video a while ago about humans in Age of Sigmar, and I linked that to this, where I was saying it would be so cool to have kind of more humans in the mortal realms. And this actually looks like it could be kind of coming into fruition. That war shrine looks brilliant. As I said, there's just so many cool things in this image. We can only kind of wait and see what happens, but it looks brilliant so far with what they've given us. It does give us a little bit more information, and we actually see some of the terrain as well. So without further ado, let's move on and we'll take a look at what it tells us. So it says, the Dawnbringer Crusades defend their nascent homes until the surrounding areas are stabilised. An aquilith, which is typically imported from Garan at great cost, sits at the town's centre, cleansing corruption with its purifying water over a greater area every day. The battles fought to defend the town are constant and hard won, and few unfortunately survive to see the work completed, but all hope that their settlements will become the next true city of Sigmar. So we can see here some of the scenery that we've got there, and we've got the Cruel Boys, and we've got the, in fact this is the Dominion starter set, isn't it? And we've got the, minus the terrain, the Stormcast as well. It says here, these settlements don't just exist in the lore. A fresh set of scenery is coming alongside the new edition to represent many of the buildings cropping up along and across the mortal realms, including arcane defensive statues and purifying engines. Some are new cities that rise up in glory on the remains of ancient empires lost in the Age of Chaos, while others may be little more than the tumble-down ruins that speak of the many failed Dawnbringer Crusades. So I imagine with this kind of release of the new scenery that in our Age of Sigmar core rulebook for the 3rd edition, there is going to be quite a lot on kind of terrain and fighting, maybe even kind of within cities. I think they did, was it called Streets of Death, kind of skirmishing and defending and things like that. So it seems to be kind of a key area of the game, basically. Got some more kind of images here, looking really cool. And there is an interview with Phil Kelly, and he kind of goes into a bit more depth about the kind of Dawnbreaker Crusades and how over, the kind of coming expansions within Age of Sigmar 3.0, we will see more of these. And it says here, are you thinking of taking up the Corn Malleus and setting off on an expedition of your own? Before you go, you might want to have a look at the video. And apparently the Corn Malleus, as it says underneath, is a special emblem that's worn around the neck to signify membership in a Dawnbringer Crusade. Once taken, losing it is punishable by hanging, so try to keep it to hand. So I thought that was a really, really interesting little article, giving us a bit of a glimpse of the future of the mortal realms and hinting that we might see more kind of human releases, and definitely that in our new rulebook, in our new core rulebook, we will most likely be seeing some refreshed and revised rules focusing on fighting within kind of buildings or in and around buildings to kind of add a bit more narrative depth to the games. And I think that would be so cool because thinking back against the Broken Realms series, there was kind of lots of fighting that took place in kind of close quarters, I guess. I'm thinking about Excelsis, I'm thinking about the battle in Shamon, I'm thinking about Anvilgard, and I just think that would be really cool. It would add an extra layer to the games that we play. So I hope you've enjoyed the article. I hope you enjoyed the kind of idea that we might be getting more kind of terrain for our battle tables. I would love to get your opinion on it. So if you could drop a comment below, I'd love to chat with you. Are you impressed with the scenery? What do you think we might see? Do you think we'll see anything else coming out for the terrain aspect of the game? And will you be picking any up? If you've not already subscribed to the channel, if you could do so, that would be fantastic. And if you could drop a comment and a like below, that would be much appreciated too. Been lovely speaking to you all, and hopefully we'll talk soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.